Exterior New York City, early morning. Establishing shots of Astoria, a neighborhood in Queens, New York. It's mid-December. The sidewalks are snowy. There are Christmas lights up. It's the most wonderful time of the year is playing. Interior Julia's apartment, early morning. A phone alarm goes off. A hand gropes for it and turns it off, revealing that it's 5 a.m. We hear a groan as someone starts to get up. Julia, mid-20s and battle-weary, gets out of bed, goes to the bathroom and starts preparing herself for the day. Makeup, hair, uncomfortable shoes, the works. It's clear she doesn't like doing the whole 9 yards, but today she has to. As Julia is just finishing up her makeup, we hear pounding on the bathroom door.
Jesus Christ, Julia, I've been waiting for 15 minutes.
Julia opens the door, revealing her roommate, Sabrina, early 20s in a bathrobe.
Sorry, Sabrina, I just finished.
You know, if I were 2 months behind on rent, I wouldn't be hogging the bathroom.
Julia grabs all her things and heads towards the door.
I'm literally on my way to a callback right now. Once I book this gig, I promise you I will get you the rent.
If you book this gig.
Don't worry. I have a good feeling about this one.
That's what you said the last 4 times.
Yes, but I have a gooder feeling this time.
Julia exits. Exterior NYC day. Julia's on her morning commute. Little things keep going wrong. She stops for a coffee and spills some on her hand, burning herself. Her Metro card takes a few tries to swipe and she misses her train. Her seat on the train is in between 2 man-spreaders. When Julia gets off the train, her phone rings. She checks it. It says Dad. She sends it to voicemail. We hear the voicemail recording.
Hey, it's Julia. Leave a message.
Hey, Julie Bean, it's Dad. Haven't talked in a while. Just wanted to say happy holidays and whatnot. I figure you and your mom have Christmas plans, but just want to say if you don't, you're always welcome in Poinsettia. Well, anyway, miss you, kiddo. Yeah.
Julia enters the building. Interior building continuous. A Ripley Greer type building with a lot of studio spaces. Julia silences her phone. We see it light up with a call from Mom that she doesn't see. It goes to voicemail. We hear.
Hey, it's Julia. Leave a message.
Julia checks in with the moderator, who goes into the audition room while Julia takes a seat. Meanwhile,
Hi, sweetie. It's Mom. Just calling to let you know that Carl and I landed safe in Barbados.
Barbados!
Yeah, honey. Okay, settle down. Well, anyway, I wish you could have joined us. Carl and I will miss you, and we will see you after New Year's.
Barbados!
Yeah, I'm coming, Carl. Okay, okay. Well, I have to hang up now. I'm roaming.
the moderator comes out of the room with another girl who looks a lot like Julia, but if she were having a much better day.
Julia Hess?
Yes.
They're ready for you.
And Julia follows the moderator into the room where the director and casting director are talking in fairly hushed voices.
Wow, she was perfect.
Oh yeah, she was exactly what we were looking for.
Right?
Yes. Hi.
And the director flips through piles of resumes.
Julia Hess.
He holds up a headshot that is clearly not her.
Oh yes. I have it right here. This is you.
Let's hear the sides whenever you're ready.
Julia sees that the battle is already lost, but tries to make a good show of it anyway.
After dislocating my hip in a vigorous sex injury, the first number I called was Hagen and Fitch, attorneys at law.
Interior Burrito Bella afternoon. Burrito Bella is a restaurant that looks like a cross between an Olive Garden and a Taco Bell. Stephen, who is dressed in uniform, white polo shirt, khakis, hat, is standing behind the counter with a Parmesan cheese grater and another employee.
This is not what extra Parmesan cheese looks like.
He holds up a small sauce container.
This is what extra Parmesan cheese looks like.
He grates more cheese into the small container, so much that it's all over. Julia's sitting at a table eating a quesadilla with a fork and knife. It is filled with fettuccine. Stephen joins her.
It was a nightmare.
I'm sorry, baby.
It was just humiliating. Like, why bother calling me in and have me schlep myself all the way to Midtown if they're just gonna be total dicks?
I know, it's messed up.
I'm sorry, I've been complaining this whole time. You said you wanted to tell me something.
Yeah, about that. I think we should see other people.
Julia freezes with a string of fettuccine hanging from her mouth.
What?
I think we should break up.
But why?
I'm sorry. It's just that I have this plan for my life, the house, the wife, the kids, and I'm working to get there, and I don't know if you are.
You are working to get there? Stephen, you've been an assistant store manager for 10 years at La Burrito Bella.
Hey, we are the third highest grossing Burrito Bella in Western Queens.
I just can't believe this. I can't believe you, that you would do this to me now?
Hey, if I waited every time you...
What? Say it.
If I waited to break up with you every time you didn't get the job, we would never break up.
Julia grabs a mini plastic cup of marinara, takes the lid off, and throws it at Stephen, staining his white polo. Interior, apartment building, evening. Julia runs up the stairs to her apartment, trying to hold back the tears. When she gets to the door, she sees all her stuff piled outside. She tries her key in the lock, but it doesn't work. She bangs on the door.
Sabrina, let me in, Sabrina. This is not funny.
Sabrina opens the door while keeping the chain on.
Look, Julia, I'm sorry, but I can't afford to cover you anymore.
Please, Sabrina, let me in.
Okay, then I need your 2 months of rent back pay and security.
I don't have that kind of money.
Then I'm sorry. I really am. But I can't afford this place on my own. I have someone else moving in tomorrow.
She closes the door.
But I have nowhere to go.
Julia slumps on the floor. She takes out her phone and makes a call.
Hi, this is Rebecca. Sorry I can't answer, but I'm in Barbados.
Barbados.
If it's urgent, email me. Otherwise, see you next year.
Julia looks through her contacts and hovers over Stephen, less than sign 3, also known as a heart sign. Less than sign 3, also known as a heart sign. Less than 3, also known as a heart sign. And then keeps going. She makes a call.
Hello?
Hey, Dad. It's me.
Is everything okay, Julie Bean?
No, Dad. No. Everything sucks right now. Can I come stay with you for a little bit?
Of course, Julie Bean.
Interior airport night. Julia's sitting at her departure gate, runny-nosed and puffy-eyed. Other people seem to be giving her some distance, and both seats next to her are empty, except for the used tissues.
We are now boarding flight Group D for the 10:30 flight from JFK to Wichita. That's Group D for the 10:30 flight from JFK to Wichita. Thank you.
Julia gets up and tries to grab as many of the tissues as she can to throw them out, but drops a few. She boards the plane. Shot of a plane taking off as we hear the final line of, "It's the most wonderful time of the year." Interior airport arrival gate warning. Julia, with large headphones still on, drags her rolling suitcase down the stairs with a smaller duffel bag over her shoulder. Bill, Julia's dad, is standing with his hands in his pockets, equally eager and nervous, waiting for his daughter that he hasn't seen in person in decades.
Hey there, kiddo.
And the two hug awkwardly because Julia doesn't put down her bags and because of their strained relationship. Exterior highway. Bill's pickup truck drives along a highway. There's nothing but miles of fields. There's a sign that says 100 miles to Topeka. They're in the middle of nowhere. Julia looks out the window, cold, shocked, saddened by her circumstances. Exterior Bill's home afternoon. Julia drags her bags out of the car and looks at her former childhood home. It's somewhat familiar. She follows her dad into the house. Interior Bill's home continuous. The house is decorated as one would think a single man in his late 50s would. A beige-brown color palette, and the centerpiece, a deer head on one of the walls. The one joy in this room is a simple Christmas tree in the corner, covered in red tinsel and full of wooden handcrafted ornaments.
My room? Is it?
Last door on the right.
Julia carries her bags down the brown carpeted hall to her old childhood room. Interior, Julia's room continuous. Julia's room is still bright pink from when she left at age 5, with the same white dresser. In the corner sits an exercise bike that's seen more dust than use, and a pull-out couch. She puts down her bag, sits on the couch, and sighs. Interior Bill's living room that night. Bill is sitting in his chair watching Antique Roadshow. Julia, coat on, enters.
I'm gonna go explore the town.
You know how to drive, right, kiddo?
Yes, of course.
Keep in mind we have a big day tomorrow. Don't stay out too late.
Bill tosses Julia his keys. Julia smiles and waves. Interior Bill's truck. Julia sits in the driver's seat, completely confused. She closes her eyes.
Left, brake, right, gas, right, or left gas, right, brake.
Julia Googles how to drive a truck. After scrolling through the video for a few seconds, she's shockingly more confident. She turns the keys and slams on the gas. The engine revs but goes nowhere. She puts it in gear. It peels out, knocking a snowman down on the way out. Exterior small town evening. Julia drives horribly down the main street of Poinsettia. The downtown area is incredibly cute but small. A general store, a church, a large town hall. Julia's eyes light up when she finds what she was looking for, a bar. Interior Vincent's night. Vincent's, the local dive bar, is full of people. A couple make out in the corner. Some bros are watching a football game. Pat, the bartender, hands Julia her second vodka soda of the evening. Julia is admiring the quaintness of this place when all of a sudden Amelia, late 20s, pops up by her side.
Julia Hess?
Emily?
Amelia Pruitt?
My God, I haven't seen you since what, first grade?
Yeah, and now look at you. Your dad says you're a girl of the big city. Hey, weren't you on an episode of Seattle Med last season?
Yeah, that was me.
Pat, this is Julia. She was a patient on Seattle Med.
Yeah, haven't seen it.
I was a corpse.
It's on ABC Thursday nights. Come on, Pat.
And Pat walks away and continues his tasks.
He's still bitter about how I ended things with him.
You broke up with me over text.
It wasn't a text, it was a billboard.
Yeah, a billboard. With text.
He walks away.
I don't know why he's so bitter. It was in a great location. Anyway, it must be so fun being a big actor living in New York.
I'm not a big actor. So how about you? What have you been up to?
My job has been super stressful. I had 4 ribbon cuttings this week. It's so hard being the mayor's daughter.
Oh, that's cool. Your dad's still the mayor? What do you do for a living?
I'm the mayor's daughter.
Pat! Tequila shots! 4! 4, please.
Pat quickly brings over the 4 shots.
To old friends.
Cheers.
I missed you. We're gonna have so much fun.
They clink their glasses once again and take another shot. Cut to interior Julia's room the next day. Julia's in a deep sleep. There's a rapping on her bedroom door. She wakes up groggy and hungover.
Hey, kiddo, time to get up.
It's too early.
I don't care what you do during the week, but Sunday at 9, that's God's time.
She rolls off the pull-out couch. Interior church the same day. The church is somewhat crowded with many old ladies, families, and other stragglers, including Bill and Julia, who's wearing sunglasses and looks like hell. She spots Amelia, who's looking totally chipper in her Sunday best. Amelia waves to Julia, who nods back. There's an Advent wreath with 2 candles lit. Pastor Ryan, mid-40s, the cool pastor, is making announcements at the pulpit.
Confirmation classes start at the beginning of next year, so make sure to have your child signed up. Deacon Joe is selling his famous donuts out front. All proceeds will go to Habitat for Humanity. And if you haven't tried them, you'll go Deacon Joe nuts over his jelly donuts, trust me. And finally, if you'd like to help out with an annual nativity play, speak with me later. It's a heck of a fun time, and we need some help with it. Now, please stand for the prayer of the faithful.
Everyone stands while Julia is seated, half asleep, wearing sunglasses in the pew. Her father pokes her shoulder. She jumps straight up to stand. Church lobby after Mass. Bill is chatting away with his friends as Julia stands tired and hungover. Old Man Evans is in a sling.
You know, it must be real nice to have Julia back home for the holidays.
Yeah, I'm glad to have such a lively daughter to celebrate with.
Julia almost falls asleep standing up.
Right, I'm gonna go grab some donuts, but I'll see you soon.
Bill, thanks again for installing the new cabinets in the rectory.
Not a problem. Pastor Ryan, this is my daughter, Julia. She's spending the holidays here, all the way from New York.
Well, Julia, welcome.
And also with you.
Julie's an actor and would love to help out with the nativity play.
That's great. But we've been looking for some new talent to help us out. And it would give me an excuse to replace, a reason to give Phyllis some real help with it this year.
Thanks be to God.
We're meeting tomorrow night. See you then.
Amen.
Bill and Julia walk away. Interior Bill's home noon. Bill and Julia enter the house after coming home from church. Julia starts heading to her room.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Wait up a minute. Julia, you okay?
Yeah, just a little hungover. I haven't gone to church in a while, so I didn't plan accordingly.
I don't mean right now. Are you okay? I haven't seen you in years, and then out of the blue, you just...
I'm fine. I don't need you to do anything. I'm good.
Julia goes into her room and flops down in bed. Bill stands outside her door.
And thanks for saying yes to the nativity. Everyone's really going to appreciate you helping out.
Julia's already dozing off, such that Bill can't quite hear her reply.
Sure thing. Go to a rehearsal, read a few Bible verses. It's no big deal.
Bill stands outside the door for a beat, then walks to the living room. Interior church basement Monday night. Julia walks into the church basement. Phyllis, a mean older woman who works in the church, drops a large binder into Julia's arms.
Hi. Is this the place for...
You think that you can direct this play better than me, Missy? Well, okay, best of luck. All right.
Wait, what?
I'll be in the corner playing internet bingo if you need me, but I'm sure you won't.
That absolute queen Phyllis goes over to the corner and continues to gamble on her phone. Meanwhile, Julia finds the pastor.
I see you've met Phyllis. I'm sorry.
Wait, I didn't realize you wanted me to direct this play.
Yes, your dad told me you're a working actor, so I thought you'd be the best person to direct and manage our nativity play.
I'm sorry. I was thinking I was going to have a small role like shepherd or a duck or antelope or zebra.
She hands the pastor the large binders.
There aren't any antelopes or zebra in the nativity.
Are you sure?
Pastor Ryan hands the binders back to her.
Yes, you are thinking of The Lion King. Now, please. This is the biggest nativity play in the Tri-County area, and last year, Phyllis really blew it. You know, she verbally berated baby Jesus.
But Pastor Gary was a great fill-in.
Julia, who's been flipping through the binder, finds a page with a picture of last year's cast with Pastor Ryan swaddled in the manger.
Never again. I believe in humility, not humiliation.
Julia! I heard you're directing. This is so exciting.
And Julia looks over at the pastor, who pleads with his eyes for her to take the job. And Julia sighs, then peps up.
Yep, this is gonna be great.
This is my 5th year in the nativity play. I'm always the Virgin Mary because, you know. Oh, I've slept with every Joseph that's been cast opposite me. This year, Pastor Ryan cast that dweeb Alvin as Joseph. Pastor Ryan.
In the corner stands Alvin, lanky and awkward.
Pastor Ryan picked someone he thought I wouldn't sleep with, but you never know.
Good for you.
Amelia goes to join the others and flirtatiously waves at Alvin. He blushes. Julia takes a look at the casting sheet, then back up at the cast. Phyllis is in the background doing her online bingo on her phone.
Okay, where are my wise men?
2 young children, Charlie and Chris, step forward. Gary, early 60s, joins them.
Okay, cool. Excited to have you all.
After 32 years of this nativity play, I'm always the wise man, never the Joseph.
And our Mary and Joseph.
Amelia grabs Alvin's hand and raises their intertwined hands up to the sky.
We're ready to make a baby. With the Lord's help, of course. Right, Alvin?
Yes. We are to have the baby Jesus.
Yes.
Great. Thanks, you two. Love the enthusiasm. Of course, we have Pastor Ryan as our innkeeper. And baby Jesus?
And Julia looks around, and all she sees, who's unaccounted, is Mallory, a very pregnant woman.
Oh, my little one is Jesus.
And where are they?
Mallory points to her stomach.
Due any day now. So exciting.
Yes. Okay. Hopefully Jesus arrives soon so he can make Thursday's rehearsal. All that leaves is our angel.
And Jerry, age 10, runs from behind Julia and steps on her toe.
Oh. Hello!
Jerry sticks his tongue out at Julia and runs off.
We thought the structure would be good for little Jerry after he stole some of Deacon Joe's donuts, so he's your angel.
And Jerry runs circles around the cast, sticking out his tongue.
I had so many cookies, you're all in trouble.
This'll be fun. This'll be fun.
Interior church basement, end of rehearsal. Julia and Pastor Ryan look on as Jerry's mom picks up Jerry, who's now acting saint-like.
Great rehearsal. Thank you again for doing this.
You know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Good night, Pastor Ryan. Good night, Director Julia.
As Jerry and his mom leave, Seamus, early 30s, strong, Irish, handsome, but not intimidatingly so, enters.
Sorry, Pastor Ryan. Am I late? Mr. McDougal had me running errands all over town.
Seamus, this is Julia. She's directing the nativity play this year. Seamus is a shepherd and animal wrangler.
Oh, what?
Seamus shakes Julia's hand. He is strong.
I thought you said there were no animals in this nativity.
I said there was no zebra in the nativity.
It takes place in a manger. Of course, there are animals.
But the logistics of it, live animals in a church?
We've been doing it for years, and that's why it's the best in the Tri-County.
Can't we just have the children be the animals?
Trust me, my sheep are more well-behaved than the children.
Yeah, you've met Jerry.
Julia, why don't you stop by the farm sometime tomorrow and we can talk the logistics of it.
Okay, I'll see what you've got.
Good night. And sorry I was late again.
Seamus exits. Amelia comes up behind Julia.
Damn, I've been thirsty before, but he's given me a full-on potato famine.
Exterior church. Julia and Amelia are both walking outside. Amelia pulls out a cigarette and lights it.
That was a great first rehearsal. I've got to say, I don't miss Phyllis trying to crush the sexual tension between me and the Holy Spirit.
Thanks. It's actually kind of fun. I'm pretty worried about the animals.
Nah, the sheep are usually fine. I was only bit once.
Oh.
Amelia shows Julia that the tip of her left pinky is missing. Julia looks horrified.
Oh, it's no big deal. Alvin stood it up quick. He's an EMT.
Amelia waves flirtatiously at Alvin, who's getting in his car.
I'm gonna go get a ride with Alvin.
But your car is right there.
They won't tow me. I'm, the mayor's daughter.
Cut 2. Exterior coffee shop the next morning. Julia exits the coffee shop across from the church with a cup of coffee. She sees a tow truck with Amelia's car, and Amelia and the tow truck driver arguing outside.
You're going to take my car? Do you know who I am?
Exterior sheep farm day. Julia parks her dad's pickup truck poorly. She gets sad and heads towards the house when she starts hearing the bleating of sheep around back. She follows the sound to see Seamus letting the sheep out of the barn to graze. One of them is being stubborn and is being partially dragged out.
Come on, you son of a you.
What? No shepherd's crook?
Oh no, for this guy I use a cattle prod.
No. Wait, really?
Seamus finally gets the sheep out of the barn. The sheep then scampers away as if he had always wanted to be outside.
No, we have a fence. Where do you think they're gonna go? So what can I help you with?
You said I should come over so you could explain the logistics for the play.
Right. So Mr. McDougal deals with the cows. We have a calf that can still fit through the church's doors, and because the cows are lazier than my granddad after 11 pints, she won't cause any trouble.
Yeah, 11 pints is usually when I call it a night. And the sheep?
Well, they're a bit more precocious, but that's all. I'll be there still in focus as shepherd number 2.
And if they poop in the church?
Well, the great thing about animal actors is their method.
All right. So where are my little Daniel Day-Lewis's?
Take your pick.
Wait, I get to audition them?
Well, usually Phyllis just picks the ones that remind her the most of Lamb Chop. And I've never really unpacked it, but,
I can audition them. I've never been on this side of the table before.
Well, we don't really have a table for this.
And you shall be my casting director. Let's go, Seamus. Bring forth the talent.
Shout out to Daniel Day-Lewis, which is phenomenal. Seamus stares at her expression of manic excitement for a moment to see if she's serious. He realizes she very much is and walks into the barn.
Wait, where are you going? The talent is that way.
Seamus comes back out with a Polaroid camera.
Right this way, Miss Hess. We have a lot of actors to get through today.
A montage begins of Seamus taking Polaroids of the sheep and describing them to Julia.
This one is Bleat Midler. Phenomenally talented, but a bit of a diva.
The Bleat Midler? Well, sadly, we just don't have the budget for her.
She's crouched down looking at a sheep.
Look, you had a really solid audition, but your look just doesn't say sheep, so we're going in a different direction.
Here is the iconic, the incomparable Angela Lambsbury.
This is the story of Jesus' birth, and not Jesus checking into a geriatric care facility. I'm sorry, Miss Lambsbury, but you just a little too long in the tooth for this project.
Now, he is reliable, but just doesn't have that it factor.
You're right. I hope you'll try it out again for Passover.
Don't they kill the lambs for Passover?
Keep moving.
Sam Shepherd?
Shepherd is already a sheep thing, but I do like the emotional depth he brings. So put him on the callback list. And will you be singing for your up-tempo?
Bad romance.
And Julia gives him a look of disgust and walks off.
What? Oh, that's where you draw the line. All right, you were laughing at Brian Ramsden from Breaking Bad not 5 minutes ago.
Interior barn day. Julia and Seamus are looking at an array of Polaroids of sheep. 3 of them are set to the side, labeled, God, I can't believe I'm going to read this. Tim Furton, Donnie Shep, and Helena Bovine Carter.
I think we found them.
Yeah, I mean, individually they're okay, but together they just have something.
Wooly Harrison.
Damn, that would have been a good one.
Mr. McDougal enters. He's a man in his late 60s, old but strong, wearing a thick flannel.
Seamus, do you think you'd be able to run into town and... Oh, Julia, you're still here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to keep Seamus from his work.
No, it's not that. It's just that Phyllis usually just picks the ones that remind her of the lamb from that Shari Lewis show, which is a bit odd.
Yeah, well, I felt like I really had to do my due diligence. You know, there is a lot of pressure that comes with being the big city actor.
We had to hold several rounds of auditions.
I'm sure you did. Why don't you come in and get warmed up? I'll put some coffee on.
Interior McDougal house. Mr. McDougal leads Julia and Seamus in. He puts a kettle of water on the stove and scoops some ground coffee into a French press.
So, Julia, it must be exciting living in New York, but we're glad you came to visit.
I didn't know me being here would be such a coup.
Oh, your father is a good friend of mine. He talks about you a lot when he's happy. Poinsettia is happy.
I didn't realize Bill was such a man about town.
Oh, he gets around.
He pours the coffee.
Can I get you anything? Cream, sugar? My wife made some cookies earlier. But we also have some Oreos in the pantry, because Mrs. McDougal is a terrible baker.
I think I'm all set. Thank you.
I'll take some Oreos.
You got legs.
Seamus goes to get the package of Oreos while Mr. McDougal scoops some sugar into his coffee and stirs.
Well, I still have a bit of work to do, so I'll leave you two alone.
Mr. McDougal winks at Seamus, who throws an Oreo at him. He nimbly catches it and takes a bite, then exits.
He seems nice.
Oh yeah, he's good people. He's my granddad's brother's kid, which makes him my,
First cousin, once removed.
I'll take your word for it.
You should, because I'm right.
And Julia sips her coffee. Seamus eats another Oreo.
So why'd you leave New York?
I I didn't leave. I'm just taking a break.
I don't know how you do it. Living in a city is just so, bouncy.
Bouncy?
Yeah, bouncy. Yeah. You move from job to job, apartment to apartment, always trying to move up. Never taking a breather.
Some people like bouncy. Gymnasts, basketball players, trampoline architects.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been bouncing in the right direction for a while. So if cities bounce, what does Poinsettia do?
We dig. Seems boring. It's hard work. At the end of the day, have something to show for it. Even if it is just a hole.
Well, it's not a bad hole you've got here.
It'll do. Oreo?
Seamus offers Julia a cookie. She takes it. Interior church basement, Thursday night. Julia's in the midst of directing the rehearsal. Gary, the older wise man, is purposefully in front of Chris and Charlie.
Gary, you're blocking Chris and Charlie. Take a step back and cheat out.
He steps aside, begrudgingly. I do
Good.
know how to speak.
Okay, this is where Chris and Charlie will deliver your lines.
Look, the star will guide us to the child.
Let us continue on this blessed night.
Great. Let's move on. Wise men, Phyllis can help take care of props and we'll revisit this.
One day I'll be the star of the St. Paul's Nativity play. One day.
Pastor Ryan overhears Gary and replies with a hollow look in his eyes.
Not worth it.
And the wise men clear the stage. Phyllis is in the corner and blows a large bubble with her gum.
Okay, let's continue with the second manger scene. We need Mary and Joseph, the angel, Jesus and the sheep.
Amelia, Alvin, and Jerry take center of the rehearsal space in the basement. Mallory struggles to stand up from the chair and waddles over. Seamus jumps to Julia's side.
Oh, wait, you wanted the sheep for tonight?
Yes. I thought you'd just bring at least one or two for figuring out spacing.
Oh, my sheep are only under contract for one night and one night only, and that is December the 24th.
Well, what am I gonna do about blocking this?
I'll be your sheep.
What?
Just have the actors go along with their lines, director.
He jumps on stage.
Okay, take it from the top of page 10. Top of page 10. Jerry, that's you.
Oh, sorry. I was talking without words coming out. After finding out the inn was full, Mary and Joseph found a quiet manger.
Seamus trots along the side of the stage.
Mary, are you sure you can have the baby in here?
Yes. With the Lord, everything is possible.
Seamus trots again and adds a little hip wiggle to his shape, and Julia laughs.
Mary and Joseph settled in the manger, surrounded by hay. And that night, the baby Jesus was born.
Jerry joins Seamus in baaing a sheep. Julia laughs.
Seamus, you are instigating him.
Jules, should I go on?
Sure.
Amelia pushes, making labor sounds. Mallory starts making labor sounds as well. Everyone looks at her panicked.
Oh, no, sorry, everyone. It's a false alarm.
Exterior Knights of Columbus Day. Establishing shot of a Knights of Columbus with Christmas decor. There's a sign that says 7th Annual Poinsettia Christmas Craft Fair. Interior Knights of Columbus Day. People are walking around the many booths with everything from Christmas cookies to modern nativity sets. Julia and Bill walk around. Julia is gnawing on a candy cane as Bill drinks his gas station coffee. Julia stops by a booth with Santa Claus ornaments. She spots one in a Hawaiian shirt that says, Hebbis, Dandy Sandy Christmas.
Oh, Carl would love this.
Bill is silent and looks a bit saddened. Julia notices.
Dad, are you okay?
Never mind. It's nothing.
Julia takes the ornament and brings it to the shopkeep.
Oh, that's a nice one.
It's not my style per se, but my stepdad loves this stuff.
Close up on the Santa ornament who's holding a beer. Silence's shopkeep wraps the ornament very carefully in bubble wrap, and Bill looks on, still saddened.
Thank you.
Julia and Bill walk away, and Julia continues to crunch on her candy cane. Interior Bill's truck. Julia hops in the passenger seat. Bill starts the truck. They drive in silence for a bit, Bill staring straight ahead, occasionally sipping his now cold coffee.
Dad, what's going on? You've been sulking this entire time.
It is nothing.
Fine then.
Julia tries to mimic Bill's sullen demeanor.
So, what did you want to do for dinner?
I don't know.
All right. And how's the nativity going?
It's fine.
Julia.
I'm moping and sulking, and so the answer to all of my questions have to be 2 syllables and contain no useful information as I sip my lukewarm coffee. Wow, that is terrible, Dad.
I don't want to...
Dad, I'm here and I am asking. Who knows when this will happen again? So what is going on?
Julie Bean, it's just... You know I like Carl, but sometimes when you talk about him, it reminds me of how I wasn't there for you and how much of your life I've missed.
Dad, it's not your fault.
Yes, it is. I'm your father. I should have tried harder to get to know you. Should have done more than read your mother's yearly Christmas card to learn about my own daughter.
I didn't call you either. It's a two-way street.
No, this is on me. I want to do better. Okay, can I have my coffee back?
Yes, please. Get it away from me.
Julia hands Bill the coffee while they're stopped at a red light. Then thud. Bill's truck is rear-ended by a car.
Son of a birch!
Interior church basement. It's the end of rehearsal. Julia's in the midst of figuring out a problem with Wiseman, Gary, Chris, and Charlie.
Gary, just because you're the oldest and therefore, as you said, the
Wisest.
Wiseman, that doesn't mean you get to carry all 3 gifts.
Fine.
He storms off.
Mallory, let's talk for a minute.
Mallory's bouncing on top of a large exercise ball.
Sure, yeah.
Mallory, I appreciate your dedication, but for your own sanity and health, are you sure you want to do this? Your son can do the play next year.
Back in March, when I first got knocked up, the first person I told was not my husband, it was Pastor Ryan. Okay, I said, Pastor Ryan, I have your baby Jesus for the next nativity play, and you know what they say, you can never break a promise with a pastor, even if that means it's me on that stage.
All right, you have 3 days. Time is ticking.
I am trying. I hope sooner if possible, in the next few hours.
Great. Everyone, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Oh, I'm heading over to Vincent's if anyone wants to join.
Sure, I'm in. Jerry, are you coming?
Ooh, I want to go and get crunk.
Nice try. Everyone but Jerry and Chris and Charlie. And Mallory, I think you better pass.
Yep, yes. I'm going to go home and practice my Lamaze breathing techniques.
Right. Amelia, Alvin, Gary.
Sounds good.
Well, if Alvin's going, I'm going.
Well, if Alvin's going, I shall not be. I shall not break bread with my rival.
Gary storms off again.
Okay then, let's go.
I kind of need a ride. My dad's truck has been through a lot in the past week, and not all of it is my fault.
Seamus looks perplexed. And cut to interior Seamus's truck. Seamus is driving his pickup. Julia's in the passenger seat.
So do you plan on replacing the mailbox you hit, young lady?
My dad's making a new one. It's tough driving a pickup truck.
Yes. You've probably used those springy smart cars zipping around the Empire State Building.
Oh, I wish. There's no room for cars.
I know. My ex and I went on vacation there once, a while back.
The two sit in silence. Almost a nervous habit, he changes the radio station. It's in the middle of Wham's Last Christmas.
I love this one. Once bitten and twice shy. I keep my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? Well, it's been a year. It doesn't surprise me. Happy Christmas. I wrapped it up and sent it. Now I know what a fool I've been, but if you kissed me now, I know you'd fool me again. What?
Oh, nothing?
They're both silent the rest of the ride. Interior Vincent's night. Amelia, Alvin, Julia, and Seamus are the only people in the bar, along with Old Man Evans sitting at the end of the bar drinking a beer with the arm that's in the sling. Pat's behind the bar, tired.
One more, one more, one more.
Pat, one more round for these fine folk.
Alvin, tell them the story of how you saved Mr. Evans that night.
Really, I told it to you at least 3 times.
But it's such a good story, and you're such a hero.
All right. So last month we get a call to go out to Old Man Evans' house. We arrived at the scene, and there's an 18-inch icicle piercing through his shoulder. It was starting to melt, so I had to take it out. He started bleeding out, blood everywhere.
Alvin gestures the blood spurting. Seamus and Julia and Pat are wide-eyed. Opposes Alvin reach the room.
Oh, don't worry. He's okay. He's fine. But now he has a 2-inch hole in his shoulder, which looks pretty gnarly.
Old Man Evans from across the bar raises his glass to the group with his injured arm.
It's not that gnarly, brother.
Oh, Mr. Evans, please, you rip out your stitches.
Maybe you should have been on Seattle Med. Oh, man. Well, I think that's enough shenanigans for me for tonight.
She pulls out her phone to call her dad.
Hey, let me take you home.
Well, if you insist.
Interior Seamus's truck. Seamus and Julia are in the car. Seamus starts the ignition.
We should go back to the church right now and go sledding on the hill.
Julia, this is Kansas. We don't have hills. We have speed bumps. Look, I can't bring you back to Bill's like in this condition. Let's go get some food and soak up some of that booze.
Is there open and is there anything open at this time?
Not much, but think I know a fancy place.
Seamus starts his car. Exterior, Burrito Bella. Seamus pulls his car up to the drive-thru of the local Burrito Bella. Julia starts crying.
No, not here.
I'm so sorry. When I said I was going to take you somewhere fancy, you know I was being sarcastic, right?
No. No, it's not that. I just wasted the past 3 years of my life in a Burrito Bella.
Sorry? It's the only place open. Plus, the spaghetti burrito is bloody phenomenal.
My ex worked here. He broke up with me because he felt he could do better than this. Just because he was the assistant store manager of the third highest grossing store in Western Queens. Did you know he once gave me a douche? An actual Summer's Eve vaginal douche for my birthday? In front of my family? At an actual restaurant? And he thinks he could do better than me. My vagina is self-cleaning. Thank you very much.
Julia, it sounds like you dodged a bullet.
I don't know. The guy who works at a Burrito Bella doesn't love me. And who will?
You don't deserve an arse like that. You deserve someone that would take you to a real fancy restaurant. Somewhere special.
Like where?
Seamus looks across the street to a fancy seafood restaurant with clams and crabs on the side called Somewhere Special. Julia smiles at Seamus.
Aw, I love crab. Is it open?
I don't think so.
Man. Do you want to split the lasagna nachos? I love the marinara salsa.
Exterior Bill's home late night. Seamus pulls into the driveway. He runs around to help Julia out of the car. He walks her to the house, supporting her. They enter through the back door. Interior Bill's home continuous. Seamus leads her to her bedroom. She flops into bed, barely conscious. He takes her shoes off, puts a blanket over her, and starts to head out. He leaves the bedroom, closes the door quietly, turns around to see Bill.
Oh, Mr. Hess, I was just dropping Julia off. She's a little pissed. Wankered. She had a few. I'll be going now.
Mm-hmm.
Seamus exits. We hear the truck start and drive away. Bill goes to the kitchen. Inside of Julia's room, we see the door open. Bill enters and puts a glass of water, a bottle of Advil, and a box of crackers on Julia's bedside table. He exits. Interior diner the next day. Julia in a hat, sunglasses, sweatpants, and a bulky scarf is sitting at a table at the local diner. Amelia enters looking very put together.
Sorry, I'm so late. So hungover from last night. I'm such a hot mess right now.
Julia looks at Amelia while using her glass of water as an ice pack on her forehead.
Y'all ready to order? Oh, baby, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can I get avocado toast and a matcha latte?
Who and a what now?
Pancakes and coffee.
Uh-huh, yeah. And you, honey?
Can I get the French toast and some tea? And let them know in the kitchen it's for the mayor's daughter.
Sure thing.
Does that ever actually help?
It doesn't not help. Speaking of things that can't be helped, I had sex with Alvin last night in his ambulance.
We were this close to passing the Bechdel test. This close. Never mind. So, how was it getting in the same vehicle where people have died?
It was haunting, but in a good way, like the movie Ghost or Casper.
How am I the weird one here?
You just are. By the way, I didn't realize you were so close with Seamus.
What? We're not that close.
Okay, it just looked like you were falling all over that four-leaf clover last night.
I was drunk. He gave me a ride home.
Okay, whatever you say, it's probably for the best.
What's that supposed to mean?
Haven't you ever wondered why our little leprechaun left the Emerald Isle to come live here?
I guess. So what happened?
I really shouldn't say. I don't like to be a gossip.
Fine. It's probably not.
Okay. I'll tell you. Stop twisting my arm. So, the rumor is, when he moved here a few years back, it was because he got his girlfriend pregnant.
What?
Yeah, he knocked her up. And instead of staying around, he just fled the country, leaving her alone with their baby. So, be careful, because who knows what country he'd have to move to next.
Well, you don't have to worry about that because we're just friends, and until the nativity play is done, colleagues.
Julia's phone starts ringing. It's the music from Riverdance.
Sexy colleague.
Julia answers the phone.
Ah, hello, Seamus, my good friend and colleague. Professional.
Julia? Are you still drunk?
Julia puts the phone on speaker.
Drunk? No, that would be quite unprofessional to be drunk while having a business meeting with the star of my show, Miss Amelia Pruitt, and her co-star / sheep's agent.
Top of the morning to ya!
Well, Miss Hess, if this is an official work call, I would like HR notified of Miss Pruitt's stereotypical sentiments.
I assure you, Human Resources is well aware of the many complaints against Miss Pruitt, and we are dealing with them.
We're the sheep, woman.
Yes. The reason I called you...
I called you?
The reason I called this meeting is to address Miss Pruitt's concerns about not having the sheep at rehearsal.
As I told you, they were only contracted for the one night.
What if we double what we are paying them?
You're not paying them anything.
Fine. Triple it.
Look, if you want to see the sheep before the 24th, you'll need to come over here and help me clean them up yourself.
Very well. I shall send over a representative to assist you. How does 2 o'clock sound?
Wait, are we still doing a bit?
See you then.
Julia hangs up.
Was that supposed to convince me that you don't want to bone him?
What? This was all business.
Oh, you'll be doing the business all right.
Exterior sheep farm day. Julia walks around the house to find Seamus cleaning up around the barn. She's wearing a Dave Matthews Band hoodie.
Well, I just found out that my assistant doesn't exist, so I'm here to help clean sheep.
Oh, so you were serious about that?
Oh, I don't joke about sheep.
Seamus looks over the wall of sheep Polaroids with pun names on them.
Okay, I joke a lot about sheep. But come on, you're an Irish sheep farmer. Like, how do you even put that on a resume? Do you have like a special kind of shampoo or what?
Seamus starts getting ready, putting on boots, waders, gloves, getting out shears.
Something like that. Is that what you're wearing?
Well, it's yeah, I mean, it's already covered in crap.
Yeah, well,
Just
it's about to get
well,
it's about to get covered in shit.
What?
All I Want for Christmas Is You starts playing as the flirty cleaning sequence begins. Seamus brings a very muddy-looking sheep into a smaller room, puts a collar on him, which is attached to a post in the center, and brings out a hose. They rub sheep shampoo into the coat. He sprays the sheep with water, and muddy water gets all over Julia. Julia starts shearing the sheep, drawing patterns into the coat. Seamus pretends to use Julia as a model as he trims the head hair. Julia throws balls of soggy wool at Seamus. Eventually, the sheep look pristine, but Julia and Seamus are a mess.
Not too bad for a bouncy city girl.
I can dig when I need to. I didn't know cleaning would be this dirty. I am covered in mud.
And shit.
It's not actually shit, right?
Oh, no. Well, probably a bit.
Great.
Don't worry, it'll wash off.
Seamus goes to Julia and wipes a bit of mud off her face. He holds her face for a moment as they stare at one another and slowly move in for the kiss. As their lips meet, the music swells for a moment until a sheep leaps and Julia pulls back.
I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have,
No, wasn't that. I just got a bit of wool in my mouth.
And they start chuckling, and then it builds to a full-on belly laugh. They kiss again. And Julia's phone buzzes. She checks it.
I have to go. Shower, burn my clothes. I'll see you at rehearsal.
Yeah. See you then.
She exits, but turns back once more before leaving the barn. Seamus hums All I Want for Christmas Is You as he goes to start cleaning another sheep. Exterior, Poinsettia streets continuous. Julia is walking home humming All I Want for Christmas Is You. Interior, church, dress rehearsal. The entire cast quietly enters the church.
Now remember, although we're rehearsing, God is watching. So all I'm asking is for everyone to be on your best behavior for the Lord.
Everyone nods. Cut to 30 minutes later where chaos ensues as each of the cast members are having their own meltdowns.
This is too small! I am a men's large, Phyllis!
The costume is made for children, Gary. Improvise.
Julia is crouched down to Chris and Charlie's level. Charlie has a tear in his eye.
Miss Julia, we were just mad because Jerry is mean and he has more lines than us.
He put a piece of gum in my hair.
Now, there is no such thing as small parts, only small actors.
I'm not small, I'm 8.
That's not what I mean.
Jerry has Seamus's shepherd's crook and is chasing Pastor Ryan around stage. Mallory is pacing back and forth trying to induce labor. Amelia and Alvin are making out behind the large manger structure, but it's obvious they're there.
Okay, I usually would never do this, but I have 2 bags of Deacon Joe nuts that are yours if we put this problem aside until next year.
And Chris peps up. Charlie immediately stops crying.
Deal.
Julia and Charlie shake hands. Charlie and Chris run off.
Where's Seamus with those darn sheep?
That Queen Phyllis shrugs and continues playing internet bingo. Seamus walks in the church.
Bribing the children now. In a church of all places.
I've got to do what I've got to do. Plus, Jerry scares me.
And Jerry is still chasing around Pastor Ryan.
Come on, Jerry. Do unto others.
Julia and Seamus are standing a little too close for a business conversation.
You're late.
I'm sorry, Director. Johnny Shep was giving me a hard time.
Johnny's call time was 6 o'clock. 15 minutes early is on time.
He can't help it. He's quite the diva.
Tell him if he keeps this up, we'll bring in Meryl Sheep.
Okay. I'll bring him in and discuss the ramifications with him. Huh?
I expected better.
Seamus smiles at Julia as he walks to the door to get the sheep. Somehow Amelia is behind Julia.
Two are a thing. I knew it.
Julia holds up a donut.
I'll give you a Deacon Joe nut if you don't say anything.
Ew.
Amelia takes the donut and walks off. Cut to the final run-through of dress rehearsal. The sheep behave, everyone knows their lines. Oh, it's perfect. Jerry delivers the final line.
Let us rejoice. Our Savior is born.
And that's a wrap. Great job. I'll see you all Christmas Eve. Call time is 6 p.m.
Interior Bill's home night. It's snowing outside, but inside, Bill is sitting in his chair in the middle of watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Julia sits on the sofa, splitting her time between looking at her phone and looking at the TV. Distracted, she goes over to the Christmas tree and takes a closer look at a wooden angel ornament.
Dad, I remember this one from when I was little.
That was for your third Christmas.
My God, yes! You used to make me a new one every year.
I still do.
What?
Well, after you and your mom moved away, I wanted to keep at least one Christmas tradition.
Julia starts examining all the ornaments on the tree.
Made one for you every year.
Dad, these are lovely.
Julie Bean, I'm sorry I didn't fight harder for you when you were a kid. I missed so much of your life, but I'm really glad you're here.
Julia hugs her dad. Bill reaches under the tree for a small box and hands it to Julia.
Wanted to wait until Christmas to give this to you, but you should open it now.
Julia opens the box. It's an intricate wooden ornament of the nativity scene.
You can bring it back to New York so you can remember the Christmas you spent in Poinsettia.
I feel like I'll be spending a lot more Christmases here. This town's really beginning to grow on me.
And the doorbell rings. Bill goes over to get it. It's Seamus dressed handsomely.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Hess.
Seamus.
Is Julia home?
Dang, you clean up nice.
When I need to. I was wondering if you'd like to come with me to dinner? If that would be all right with you, Mr. Hess. Sir.
Fine with me, just have her back at a reasonable hour. Not like last time.
Of course, sir. Absolutely.
Let me just grab my shoes.
Interior, somewhere, shell. Julia and Seamus are seated in the middle of the only seafood restaurant in hundreds of miles. Julia takes off her jacket and scarf and puts it on her chair, revealing a horrendous Christmas sweater that says Santa's little ho 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 with a picture of a sexy elf. Seamus stares.
Nice sweater.
Well, I didn't know I was going on a date tonight.
Well, if I'd known about that sweater, you wouldn't be.
Shut up and get us some calamari.
With a salsa marinara, right?
Wait, we can do that?
Dessert. Julia and Seamus are splitting a piece of cheesecake.
See, I've always really wanted to go on a safari.
Don't you get enough animals at work?
Oh, yes, but I'd love to see ones whose shit I didn't have to pick up.
Julia hears her phone vibrating in her bag but ignores it.
So where do you want to go next?
I don't know. I think I may stay put for a bit.
Ah, yes. I hear the subway is quite fun. That would keep me in New York.
No. I mean, here.
Seamus's face lights up. Julia's phone vibrates again.
Sorry. I think I need to check this.
And Julia checks her phone. There are 3 missed calls and a voicemail from Big Apple Casting. As she listens to the voicemail, the waiter gives the check to Seamus.
Hi, Julia. This is Cammy from Big Apple Casting, calling about the Hagen and Fitch Attorneys at Law gig. We had a bit of a snafu with our other actors, so you've got the job. Give me a call back when you can, and I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Julia places the phone on the table.
Seamus, I've got the job.
What job?
That commercial gig I had a few weeks ago?
Wow, congratulations.
Thanks. We have to go.
Julia stands up and starts walking towards the front. Seamus follows her.
Right. Go where?
I need to go home and pack.
Pack? Oh, when are you leaving? Tomorrow?
Yes.
But what about the play?
Julia and Seamus leave and head out to the car. It's still snowing.
Oh, the play will be just fine. Phyllis will know what to do.
Julia, we need you here.
But this is big for me.
Is it? I'm happy you got this job, but what happens next?
This job will lead to other opportunities.
But do you even want them? From everything you said, do you even like working in the city? Living with people who don't care about you, losing jobs for reasons no one will ever say. It's like you're not even bouncing anymore. You're crashing, and you don't have to be. I don't think you want to be.
That's rich, coming from you.
Sorry?
You left the country after getting your fiancée pregnant. You have no right to lecture me about sticking things out.
Oh. Okay.
He tears up, but he is as sad as he is serious.
You want to know what really happened? My fiancée and I did get pregnant. But I didn't run away. I wanted to be a dad. I was looking forward to it. But one weekend, she goes to visit her mom. And she didn't come back. I tried calling and writing, but she changed her number. She didn't respond to my letters. And for the next year, I just went about my life. And every place I went was just a reminder of her, making me wonder what I did or didn't do. And it was killing me. So yeah, I left. And I came to live with my first cousin, once removed, in the middle of nowhere, Kansas. And I thought, you of all people might understand that. But unlike you, I don't want to go back to the place that makes me miserable.
Seamus, I'm sorry.
Let's just go.
When they get into the truck, a tear streams down Seamus's face. Blue Christmas plays on the radio. Interior Julia's room. Julia is packing. Bill walks in and stands at the doorway.
Found a flight for you out of Wichita at 8.
Great.
It stops over in Chicago, but it should get you to New York by 2 tomorrow.
Okay. Sorry I have to leave like this.
Well, sad as I am to see you go, I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Dad. I'm excited.
What's going on, Julie Bean? You don't sound too thrilled.
No. I am. I'm gonna miss this place, that's all.
Poinsettia is going to miss you too. It was nice having you around.
I never really understood why you love this place so much. I think I get it now.
You know, you're always welcome here. Even when you get really famous.
Thanks, Dad. I'll take you up on that.
Well, good night. Try and get some sleep. We're leaving in 5 hours.
Julia widens her eyes with disbelief. Exterior Bill's truck early the next morning. Bill's truck is driving down the highway in the dark. Close up on Julia in the passenger seat with hat, sunglasses, sweatpants, and a bulky scarf. Interior airport gate. Julia hands her boarding pass to an attendant.
Now boarding all passengers from Wichita to Chicago.
Interior airplane day. Julia is sitting on the plane on the tarmac, trying to sleep. Headphones on, listening to a podcast.
The ancient city of Derinkuyu is one of the most awe-inspiring tunnels dug by hand. Stretching to around 60 meters below the Cappadocia region of Turkey, the tunnel housed 20,000 citizens, including their homes, wineries, and schools.
The Derinkuyuians like to dig. It is hard for us to imagine the mind-numbing amount of time and effort it took, but at the end of the day, they created something truly amazing.
Julia's eyes snap open, realizing that she made a huge mistake.
I have to go back.
She stands up and tries to move towards the front of the plane. A flight attendant quickly stops her.
Ma'am, you have to take your seat. We're about to take off.
You don't understand. The nativity. Seamus!
I'm sorry, but we have already left the gate. You cannot get off this plane.
Well, you don't understand. I have to get off this flight.
Ma'am.
The nativity. Seamus!
Ma'am, I do not care if you are the baby Jesus himself. You are not getting off this plane. Now you are going to fasten yourself to that seat, whether by seatbelt or handcuffs is up to you.
And Julia sulks as she sits back down in her seat and fastens her seatbelt.
Now, would you like some pretzels?
Yes.
Shot of the plane landing in Chicago. Interior Chicago Airport Day. The door to the plane opens and Julia sprints off, dragging her bag behind her, not caring who she knocks into. She's sprinting down the terminal, outpacing people on the standing conveyor belt. Triumphant music is playing. Julia arrives at the ticket gate, very out of breath, handing the ticket agent her credit card.
I need to get on the first flight to Wichita, please.
Well, let me see. All right, here you go.
The ticket agent hands Julia the boarding pass and credit card. Julia looks at it. It says departs 3:05. She looks at a clock which reads 10:45 a.m. The music cuts out.
What the fuck?
Cut to a few hours later. Julia's sitting, waiting at the gate, very impatiently.
Now boarding all passengers from Chicago to Wichita.
The music resumes full force as Julia dashes onto the plane. We see the plane take off, land, interior airport continuous. The airplane door opens and Julia sprints out again knocking into people. She sees the security scanners and dashes through the wrong way.
Come on, the exit is right over there.
Pan over to the exit line, literally 10 feet away. Cut to exterior airport continuous. Julia hails a cab and gets in.
Cabby! I need to get to the Poinsettia as fast as possible.
Sure thing.
Interior cab continuous. The cab driver looks at Julia through the rearview mirror.
Hey, you look familiar. Did you ever play a dead body on Seattle Med?
Yeah.
I knew it! The guys are never gonna believe this.
Exterior sheep farm evening. Julia rushes out of the cab, dragging her luggage wildly behind her. She runs up to the house and starts pounding on the door.
Seamus, damn it, Seamus, don't pretend you're not here. It's 6:30. Everywhere is closed.
Julia notices all the lights are off, she realizes.
The church, the nativity. Son of a birch.
She whips around to see the cab pulling away. She abandons her bags and runs after it.
Wait! Stop! Wait!
The cab is too far gone. Another car is passing by. Julia waves lightly to get the driver's attention. The car slows down.
Thank you. Are you heading to the nativity play?
The window rolls down. Weep womp. It's Phyllis.
Oh, look who it is, Miss Big Time Director.
Hi, Phyllis.
Running a little late, are we?
Well, I would be there on time if you drive me there.
Well, call time was half hour ago, and aren't you the one who said 15 minutes early is on time?
Yes, Phyllis, I did say that.
So you are at least 45 minutes late by your own standard.
Yes, Phyllis, I am horribly unprofessional, and if you can drive me to the church, I will personally tell Pastor Ryan that you should direct next year.
Another car pulls up, the window rolls down. It's Pat.
Yeah, hey, Julia, do you need a ride to the church?
Yes! Never mind, Phyllis. You suck.
Yes.
Julia hops into Pat's car and they drive away. Phyllis sits in her car and her phone dings. She looks down at it.
Oh, bingo!
Interior church basement night. The cast of the Nativity, minus Amelia and Seamus, is standing around nervously. Julia comes running down the stairs.
I'm here. I'm here.
Thank goodness. Quickly, put this on.
Pastor Ryan hands her a costume.
What's this?
Well,
Where's Seamus and Amelia?
Well, Seamus is upstairs with the sheep, and Amelia had a bit of an incident.
Pastor Ryan shoots Alvin a glare. Mallory steps forward. She's wearing all black, except for her very pregnant belly, which is draped in white cloth, like it is being swaddled.
Well, okay, her and little Alvin were canoodling in the back of a car when it slid down a hill and into a tree. Alvin was fine, but Amelia dislocated her hip.
The Virgin Mary has a vigorous sex injury?
Yes. My hopes that portraying the Virgin might bestow some of her virtues onto our wayward mayor's daughter have failed. But if King Herod could not stop the Mary and Joseph pilgrimage to Bethlehem, then neither shall premarital relations. So for the sake of the Tri-County area, you put on this costume.
A stunned silence at Pastor Ryan's outburst.
Please.
All right, places, people, curtain is up whenever I can get this fake belly on.
A whirling of activity as Julia takes the costume and starts to get dressed, as Pastor Ryan starts herding people up the stairs. Interior church night. Julia, in costume looking nervous, is standing with Alvin outside the doors to the chapel. We hear the angel Jerry from the other side of the door.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be counted, everyone into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem.
Seamus walks by with one of the sheep.
Seamus. Seamus.
Seamus doesn't look at her.
We're about to go on. I'm sorry you have to do this.
Hope it was worth it.
It totally was.
With Mary, his espoused wife, being with child.
The doors open and Alvin and Julia start to walk down the main aisle.
And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered.
As they are walking down, Bill sees Julia. His eyes widen. They make eye contact and he smiles. Cut to Alvin and Julia on stage, Jerry off to the side.
And she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. And as there was no room for them in the inn, she wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger.
Mallory comes out from behind the set piece, and Alvin and Julia mime wrapping up her belly. Mallory then squats so that her belly sits in the manger bed set piece. The audience is chuckling. Cut to Seamus and another shepherd and their 3 sheep setup standing in the back corner of the chapel.
Let us go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has made known to us.
They make their way to the stage.
And they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in a manger.
Seamus. Look at me.
I'm just here to look at the baby.
Seamus is pointing at Mallory's belly.
I came back. I came back for you.
Pastor Ryan, dressed as the innkeeper, has been watching nervously from the wings. At this, he bops on stage.
And the census! You came back for the census!
Seamus, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have listened to what people of Bethlehem were saying about you and your fiancé.
Well, you did. You've had your fun in Bethlehem. Now you can go on to Nazareth now.
A shot of the old man Evans looking confused.
Wait. Did Mary and the shepherd, they know each other?
I'm not going to Nazareth. I'm staying.
But you will go back to Nazareth, for in Matthew 2:23, he shall be called a Nazarene. Oh, look, are those magi? Jerry, the magi!
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. After Jesus's birth, wise men from the east arrived in Jerusalem.
Chris, Charlie, and Gary, clearly caught off guard, hustled down the aisle to the stage.
Where is the one who was born to be the King of the Jews? We saw his star in the sky.
It's Jews, not juice.
That's what he said.
Oh, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
We saw his star rising and have come to worship him.
Hey, that's my line.
Well, you didn't say it, so it's mine now.
Hey,
And the
stop
three wise
it.
men are bickering. Julia uses the moment to keep talking to Seamus.
Seamus, I'm sorry about what I said, and I'm sorry that I left.
After what happened to me, do you know how hard it is for me to let anyone in? And as soon as I do, you leave.
I know, and I'm sorry, but I'm done bouncing all over the place. I want to dig. I want to try digging with you.
Julia stares at Seamus, trying to convince him. He stares back for a moment and decides to trust her.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Yep, that's us. Oh.
Seamus hands his shepherd's crook to the other shepherd and runs over to Julia, and they kiss.
Oh.
Pastor Ryan shoots her a look.
I mean,
Oh my God.
Joseph, aren't you going to do anything?
You know what, innkeeper? If you don't have room for us in your inn, then we don't have room for you in our lives. Besides, she was already pregnant when I married her, so...
Old man Evans is furiously flipping through a Bible.
Look, I have not heard any of this before. What verse is this from?
The wise men's fight has been escalating. Chris and Charlie are trying to push in front of Gary, who's holding them back.
You know, Mary, I wish you all the best with the shepherd. I have to go to the hospital to see my girlfriend who has a vigorous sex injury.
oh, you and Amelia are dating?
Ew, baby Jesus peed himself.
Shot of Mallory's pants, which are now soaked.
My water just broke? My water just broke. Oh, thank God. It's a Christmas miracle.
Chris shoves Gary while Charlie is crouched behind him, causing Gary to fall back onto one of the sheep. The sheep get spooked and start stampeding about, knocking down set pieces. The church is in full pandemonium. The sheep are chasing the kids. Alvin is helping Mallory out of the church. People are fleeing, or should I say fleecing. And then it all, Seamus and Julia are sharing a passionate kiss. After a moment, they break apart.
Shouldn't we do something?
Right. God bless us, everyone.
That's not even from the Bible.
Yes, it is.
No, that's a Christmas carol.
Oh.
They continue to kiss. The camera pans out. Bill has a fire extinguisher and is putting out small fires caused by falling candles. Pastor Ryan has tackled a sheep and is trying to pin it down. The camera leaves the chapel to outside. We see an ambulance and fire truck pull up. The congregation is abuzz.
Best nativity ever.
Pan up and over the town as the snow is coming down in the most picturesque way. Cut to 1 year later, exterior Poinsettia Day. Julia's bopping about town. She says hi to everyone by name. She is fully part of the town now. We hear a voicemail play.
Hi, Julia. I miss you. I hope you and your dad are having fun in Poinsettia. Carl and I just landed in the Bahamas.
Bahamas!
Tell Seamus I said hi and good luck with your play tonight. I love you.
Julia exits a coffee shop with 2 drinks and runs into Mallory with her baby in a stroller. Julia leans over to say hi.
Hey, Mallory. Hi, Noelle. How is the cutest, latest Jesus?
I hope he's Santa one day too. He is so excited for tonight.
After last year, I think everyone is.
Julia runs into Phyllis.
I can't believe they let you direct the nativity again.
And happy holidays to you too.
Julia passes by a familiar car with fogged up windows. She knocks on them, the window rolls down. It's Amelia and Alvin.
Careful, you two.
Don't worry.
We put the emergency brake on.
Interior barn day. Julia enters the barn. Seamus is all suited up to clean sheep. Julia hands him a coffee. They kiss.
You ready?
Julia's pulling on her waders, scrolls through her phone, and hits play. All I Want for Christmas Is You starts playing. Julia puts on her gloves.
Always.
Pan out, and music swells as they begin to hose down the sheep. The end.